Mr. Nelson, it's good to have you here. Please, you could unmute your mic. Let's have this conversation running.
Okay, good evening, everything, and
Hi,
good evening. Everybody. So good to be here.
it's
Thank
a
you for
pleasure to
having me.
have you. So, Mr. Nelson,
Yep.
you have been in this industry for quite some time and you're doing remarkably well. We've seen you on, huge stages with renowned comedians back here in Nigeria. How was, what is the journey to this story of yours?
All right. First things first, you do look good. I wanted to say that before you started asking me
Thank you
questions.
very much.
So, let me get that out of the way. My journey, I would say for a start, I had a kind of smooth journey. I would say smooth journey because compared to the stories I'm hearing people say, how they started, how they had to, take certain kind of risk and all. I kind of had it easy. I had the easy
Mhm.
talent. The talent of comedy it just came natural. I was in the university and then I met this friend of mine, Imon. Shout out to Imon. So Imon was as at that time a comedian and then an MC. And then he kept saying, "Bro, you can do this thing. Like this is what we did do. You did do them, and it's kind of easy for you." And as at that time, I didn't know comedy was something I could actually do and get paid for. You understand? I felt like
Mhm.
it's something they just do for fun, so I was just doing it for fun. And then he kept insisting on CEO. I think my first stand-up comedy performance was at a church. Yeah, our fellowship. It was a brothers day something, and then came up, had my performance. In fact, it was supposed to be Amon performing, and then he said no. I should just go perform, and then he would just take the basket. And then I had the performance, and it was a wow. A friend of mine, then he wasn't a friend, but now he's a friend. Uh, Dimple, Mr. Dimple comedian, he's based in Makodi, here in Benue State. He he was there in church, and then he was like, "Bro, this is good. After I'm having a show, could you just come up and do?" And I was like, "I don't do show. If I go there, I don't script comedy. I just go there and just do me." And then after that time, I think I
Mm.
forgot something. I was doing comedy with the pattern of this clean the drunk. I don't know if you've heard or seen clean the drunk perform before. So it was basically this drunk pattern. Are you there?
I
Uh-huh.
think that is of network.
All right. So it was this clean the drunk pattern I was using as at that time. You understand? And then gradually I had to change. Should I go on with the whole story on how the change came up? Or is there another question?
There's a lot to talk about. Trust me. We just want you to summarize how your journey started and how you got here.
Okay, then fast forward to performances happening in Makodi, and then I met Boss YB. Shout out to Boss YB. And then he told me about a competition he was having, a talent hunt to help upcoming. And that was my first time coming to Abuja for a performance. I think
Mm.
it happened at Merit House. And then I came. It was winner take it all. No second or third position. Winner take it all. And then somehow, I think that was my change. Yeah, I came out with the clean the drunk something, and then Boss Loud Voice was there as the judge, and then he was like, for creativity, I'm giving you 1/10. I wrote my jokes myself, boss. He said that the jokes are mine. Yeah, they are original, but every credit will be given to clean the drunk because it's his pattern. And I was like,
Oh,
wow, okay, okay. So he was like, if you make it to the next round, come up and be you. I went backstage. A lot of persons were talking like, why would he say something like that? But I kind of had a different mindset. This guy just gave me a turnaround. Yeah. So I think I could use this. And then I went on stage for the second time, second round. I made it to the second round. And then the first person I hit with my next line of joke was him, loud voice. And I got an ovation from the judges from the second round. So I already had this booster already and then came up first and then gradually started getting gigs and then Transcorp became like norm. Abuja has been favorable. I've worked with a lot of bosses, and they have been. It was easy for me. So yeah, with the help of these men, it's been a smooth journey so far.
Wow. Not so many people are going to agree with you on this smooth journey of yours because, well, we believe everybody's journey is different, right? Did you ever see
Right.
yourself at some point being a professional comedian? Because it seems like this is what you do most of the time, or is there something else you do aside being a comedian, or this is like a full-time actual job? Let's know when we can start sending because we know comedians makes a lot of money.
Oh wow, that's what that's a joke now. Okay. So the thing is, I never knew I was going to be a comedian. Never ever. I studied mathematics and statistics. Has nothing to do with what? Yeah, mathematics and statistics. So when I finished school and I was serving, I was doing comedy, and then basically I was just teaching. But at some point, the job started affecting my line of work. I'm called to perform in another state, and I'm supposed to resume work on Monday morning. When on Sunday night, I'm already in Niger State, and like that. So I had to stop the work and concentrate. So for now, I'll say full time. I'm a full time comedian. Yes, we are in the ministry. Praise God.
Okay. All right. I didn't know we are going to have a free show here, but that's awesome. I mean, feel free to laugh anyway. We don't have to buy tickets for this. So,
You
in the
will
course of
pay.
all of this, right? You studying
Yeah.
mathematics and statistics. How did your family take it? Your immediate family, were they proud? Were they excited? Because sometimes
Uh,
we get this question: what exactly are you doing? What do you do with what are you doing with your life?
okay, my family. First things first, I wanted to be an art student, and my dad was like, My first one can never do art. You can't be how can theater art, then you come and be acting movie for what? My first son, so I had to stick to science. Then when the whole comedy thing came up, they were never proud of me. It started making sense because the truth is, whatever you try to do in life, no matter how good it is, there has to be challenges. You understand? You have to overcome them to prove that you know what you're doing and you're convinced enough to take the risk. So it took time, but they started coming along gradually. But as it stands, man, everybody is behind me, right behind. He boldly says it. My son is a stand-up comedian at MC Abuja. Yeah. So say if you get some kind alert, you just send. You just become like the breadwinner. My father calls me my brother. Something like that. Uh,
Okay, okay, Mr. Nelson. That's such a great one here. Your father calls you your brother now because he's seeing the dividends of getting a lot of ROIs from his first son being a comedian and a master of ceremony. This is truly amazing. So, um, you are purely talented with this thing. Do you see comedy as something that can be learned? Like someone saying, okay, today I'm trying to transition or start a career on being a photographer or a videographer, that you have to go to an academy to learn and all of that. Do you see that happening in the line of comedy, or it has to be an inbuilt thing?
well, I think it has to be inbuilt. It can be developed. You understand?
Mm,
Because no matter how talented you are, you need development. Raw talent will not sell for long. You know, you have to be developed. But I think it's inbuilt because for comedy, something as huge as laughter, it looks simple, but it is huge. But something as huge as laughter, you need to have it inside of you to be able to keep it out. You
mm,
understand? There are some things you say in certain places and people pick offense. Huh. So it could sound funny to you, but people are picking offenses. So the thing is, I feel it has to be inbuilt so you can give it to people from within. If not, you find yourself trying to write jokes, and then when you are done writing them, you begin to look for how to script it. You know, for me, I don't know. A lot of senior colleagues may disagree, but for me, I don't write. I don't write jokes. I don't. it comes from conversations. You understand? I could be talking and then something comes and I'm like, yeah, I can develop this. So you see, even jokes are developed, but it has to come to you naturally. Yeah,
So
so
you're
I think
saying you get called for events or I mean I've seen you perform here and there in Abuja, right? Are you telling me that when they put you on this flyer, like, oh, we're going to be expecting Mr. Nelson come to perform, you don't have anything written down, you don't know the kind of jokes because you don't know the kind of audience you're coming to meet, to just go to the stage and you just do your thing? Is that what you're saying?
so. Quick one. Let me explain what I mean by write down the script because I think I'm
Okay, good.
getting. So I could get a joke, you understand, and pin
Mm-hmm.
it down so I don't forget. You understand? I could have jokes and then the lineup has has to, they have to sing. I can't just finish talking about how, okay, let's say I'm making a joke now on how poverty has dealt with me and all, and then I'm supposed to make a joke about wealth with myself immediately. It doesn't align. You just said poverty deals with you, and then you're talking about you spending and doing this, and you understand. So they have to have a sync, a particular flow. So for that sake, you have to have something written down. You just has to have a line where you start and how it comes to an end. You understand? So I definitely have to pin a lot of things down, write them down so I don't forget. But the scripting I'm talking about is when you have to write um how do I put this? Okay, you know how you try to write a script, yeah? You don't really know
Mm-hmm.
what. Let's say we're talking about a movie. You don't really know how this movie is going to look like. You just start a script by saying there was a time, and it can't happen like that for comedy. Before you
Okay.
start writing down, the beginning and the end of the joke has to come to you. You understand?
Oh.
Then talking about events being invited to, you definitely have to study the kind of event you're going for. That's why the first advice I got, one of the most meaningful, is to come to a show as early as possible. Sit down there, sync with the environment, look at the audience, see the kind of responses they are having. Then you can know how to arrange your jokes. You get place where you go talk poverty jokes, they don't they look you, they don't understand. They've never been poor in their life. And then there are some places you go, you're talking about, I heard somebody cracking a joke about a car, V8 engine, V4, V. There are places you go and they'll not understand that joke. Maybe now only two people they drive there and they don't really know V. You understand? So you have to definitely understand your audience. So for every invitation I get, after pinning them down, I make research on. First of all, I try to find out the person who has invited me. You understand? Everybody
Mm.
has their own kind of audience. So if how can I give this example? I've been working with a lot of people, yes, but they're almost the same, yeah. Okay, but somebody like Loud Voice, like Chuks D General, if these people invite you, like YBIT, if they invite you for an event, know that you cannot do vocal jokes. You understand? You
Mm-hmm.
already know that vocals cannot sell here, so don't try it. You understand? There are some kind of very offensive jokes you cannot crack there. You can't, insult people. You can't pick up an audience. This is the kind of audience they have. You understand?
Yes.
But for somebody, okay, let me not call you so that it won't be like I'm trying to drag people. But there are certain people
No,
who, when
we
they,
don't want you to call names here. Don't drag anybody.
but there are
We
certain
don't
people
want you
when
to
they
drag
call you.
anybody.
All right, so certain people when they call you, you have to look for something offensive, especially mostly to women. If you don't have a joke that insults women, drags them and or talk down on them, you can't sell there. So I
Mm.
have to first of all understand who has called, then relate it to the kind of audience this person pulls, and then know the kind of jokes to sell.
To sell. This is such an insightful one. So how have you been able to, position your brand as Mr. Nelson? How have you been able to do that so far?
Well, positioning has been a smooth ride, like I said, too. Reason being that I have been seen a couple of times with big names, you know. So uh, my placement hasn't been a very difficult thing. The Nelson brand is a comedy, a music comedy brand. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So I do stand up, I do music comedy
Like
for the
what's his name? Kenny Blaq.
Sham. You are aligned.
Great, great,
All right.
great, great.
So I do stand up, I do music comedy, and I try to sync them both. So when I tell a joke, I have a music to back it up, to back that joke up, so that we can all relate. The harmony and all. I don't really fancy vulgar jokes.
Oh,
I I struggle with it. That's just the gospel truth. I hope that people that want to call me for vulgar events will not see this. But I do struggle with it. You understand? I don't want to say the churchy background, but yeah, I struggle with vulgar
well,
jokes.
Joe.
So the positioning of the brand is basically music comedy, clean, pure comedy, without offenses. I think it's even better when your comedies are clean and pure so that they can sell in basically any event.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So God has been faithful. Abuja is favoring us gradually.
Amazing. We do hope to attend one of your shows anytime soon, and we hope to also get free tickets too. And maybe we could also help you sell tickets if we can. Another thing
Exactly.
is we are in a new. I just have two more questions to ask you, and then we're just going to wrap this up. We don't have time with us anymore.
All right.
People talk about, the presence of artificial intelligence. Do you think it's going to affect any form of comedy? Your, or rather, affect comedians as well, taking their jobs or relieving them of their jobs?
No, I don't think it will take your jobs from you. I think it will help
Mm.
you do the job better.
Will you help you
For
write jokes? Have you ever gone to ChatGPT for
no,
you to write jokes for you?
for creativity right jokes. Okay, so I
You've
think
never tried.
I, I I think I'll give it a try. Oh. I'll come back and tell you if it works.
Okay,
But
I'm waiting for that. Honestly, I'm waiting for that. I am waiting.
I think the truth is I think it will help enhance your comedy. The reason is
Mm-hmm.
um comedy has to be relatable. You understand? For the sake of research, it helps. There was this joke I used to crack about wives of the presidents and and their meanings. Then I said Patience Jonathan. I said she was trying to tell us to be patient and enjoy Jonathan. And then for Buhari, he was married to a woman called Aisha. I had to Google to make research to find out the meaning of Aisha to know how to place that joke because I'm not outside. You understand? And then when it came to the president, the sitting president, Tinubu, the wife, Remy, I had to browse to check the meaning of that name. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? So that wasn't me working, that was artificial intelligence. And then it becomes easy because at the spot you could just sit down, type the question, you want to write jokes on something or maybe somebody, you start making research about this person. This is something that AI will make as easy as possible. Somebody could just say something on the stage before they call you up, and then you're like, "Hi, this joke can be deeper than this." You make your research around that thing, and then within seconds, you're good to go. It could be your greatest joke, perfect seller. So I feel artificial intelligence will not, it can't take our jobs from us. No pride, but I don't think anything can take the job of a comedian. If Corona could not do it, there's nothing. No, I don't think anything can do it now because we started doing jokes online. Corona came, they said everybody sitting indoors, so we couldn't have our shows and all. We started doing shows online. People were buying online tickets. We send you a link, you connect, you sit at home and laugh. So if sit at home couldn't stop our job, you really think AI will? So I don't think it will take our jobs from us. I think it will help enhance ease.
Well, I'm still waiting for the response you're going to get from AI when you share it with me on my WhatsApp, so I can share with the community of what we'll have to do. There's this trendy an incident that happened with Mr. Tony Lumelu, Tony Chairman
I
sir
love
here and
you.
there with
I love
the
you, Mr. Now.
lady. So I wanted to ask you, yes, I know how shows your spontaneity on how or what joke can you make from that conversation? Let's hear you.
Well, first things first, just try to add Mr. to anybody's name you see, male or female, so that you don't begin to trend for the wrong reason. But I think yeah. Okay, wait, am I supposed to make a joke on that or give a comment on that? What am I doing?
Yo, give a comment, a quick comment, and then make a joke on that. We want to laugh.
Ah,
We know we didn't pay for ticket, but we want to laugh.
you're giving me assignment. Add joke. Please, after this, I'll drop my account number, please.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
Okay, first things first. I don't know. I've seen a lot of comments online, but I think the man was right. Everybody has their. He wasn't harsh. He wasn't rude. He just said, "I won't have you call me this. Instead, call me." And then the ladies. I don't know why Nigerians are. Oh, but we they like quarrel. We can drag because the man said, "No, call me this one. Call me like this." The girl said, "Okay." She call her like that. You see that? Say, why they tell her say, ah, see what poverty can do. Millionaires they argue. You see that the judge. Who they wrong? Who they right? It's alright. But I feel like nobody was wrong in there. The lady felt like she wanted to, do the Western thing, forget, neglecting the culture and all. And the man was like, no, the culture has to come in. So, yeah, they were having a discussion. Somebody corrected somebody. If somebody should correct somebody, it should be Mr. Tony correcting the young lady. I think it's cool. About a joke, uh, I would have made a joke on Tony Elumelu, but I fear you will correct me on that joke. So,
Nobody- I will correct you. No,
ah,
I don't have the
joke.
capacity to correct you.
Any joke on Tony has to be corrected. It has to be corrected.
Okay, I'll correct you. Let's hear you. Shoot.
Oh, how can I joke? Like I said, now any joke on Tony has to be corrected. It's like a script has to be corrected. So let's let's leave it like that. I'll write the joke later. I'll send it to you. You correct me. Then I come online and say it.
Okay. Okay, I would do that. But if you're to
Eh,
tell
let-
a random joke, if you're to tell a random joke, okay, tell a random joke about me. Yes, do a comedy on me.
Comedy on you,
I give you
everything
free access.
and
Do a comedy on me.
wow, everything and I should do a comedy on you.
Yes,
Okay. So
you're
first things
permitted.
first, I've seen your picture with Amon before, and first things first, I want to commend the fact that you are tall. Thank you for being tall. You will not answer me first. Just say you're welcome.
You're welcome.
Okay. Now back to my point. The reason why I'm thanking you for being tall is because the fact that you are tall means that you'll be able to tolerate everything that we're doing here. Everything that myself. No, no joke. If you were short, it will come with a lot of shortcomings. You understand? And I feel like your name has to do with your height because it's kind of long. Everything and you understand. So no, honestly, hold on. Honestly, why is your name like everything? Like, are we supposed to take part of Anne somewhere? How? No, hold on. Let me do the interview now. How come your name is everything? Uh, I'm not tracking that.
Okay. So, okay. For the benefit of this interview, I do hope that as Hela, as Talent Talk grows, of course, they're going to have other people before, after me, and all of that. And I will get called one day to share my story. But yes, for the benefit of this, while I indulge you, the essence of the word, everything added to my name, is because I am multifaceted. So I don't just do one thing. Today I'm a
Oh,
host with Hela as community manager here, a master of ceremonies there. I have hands-on skills on so many things, so it's like everything all together, and that's it. So everything adds for everything. Yes, that's that's what it means. Okay, all right, Mr. Nelson, you've really cracked us up, and I'm having teardrop at the side of my eyes. I've laughed so hard. Thank you so much for
somebody.
that. And thank you for sharing your experience. Is mathematics
That's
and statistician who is now a comedian full time. We're grateful for that. We're excited. The stages we've seen you on here and there, the people who have put you on, it's really amazing. We would have loved to continue this, conversation, but I guess there's going to be a part 2 after you come back and tell us the whole thing
about
with
AI.
ChatGPT, and then we have yes, and then we'll have a part 2 of this conversation. So I'm definitely bringing you on again, probably before the end of this year. So thank you so much, Mr. Nelson. We do have a okay. Before I close this, does anybody in the comments have something to say for those who have joined the call? We also have a stand-up comedian here, but he's based in Texas, and he's been laughing. Maybe he wants to say hi.
Okay.
Sam, are you
I
there?
thought
Okay.
Yeah,
Are you
I'm here definitely.
okay?
Just want to say I've enjoyed the interview. He's very spontaneous, as we all know, and great work. Can't wait to dig into some of your videos to see some of your acts. Really, just want to appreciate you for being on the call today. Thank you.
thank you so much, Mr. Sam.
I won't correct you there, but call me Sam.
Okay.
You see the
I know
question?
he doesn't. I know he
The
doesn't like
question
that.
to add. All right.
So, Nelson, we do have a ritual with hailers and on Talent Talk specifically. So, whoever any guest that comes, there's always a special way they tend to greet us, and that's our own way, and that's the way we also greet with our members and community and team and all of that. So you just have your two hands like this in the air, and you tell us I halo, right? So your hands are
Hmm.
like this, and you say I halo. That's the essence of the H. It's a hailing. We're hailing you across the globe, anywhere you are. We're hailing you. So we want you, Mr. Nelson, to hail us.
So that's it. Hailers is like to hail.
Yes, yes.
You won't believe I've been trying to check the meaning of this. Wow. How not this stress? So
Okay, don't make a joke with hailers.
sorry. Sorry, I can't joke with my helper now. I can't joke with my helper.
All right.
Oh,
So
so
you hail
you have
along
two
with us.
and I hello. Okay. So am I? Is there a way are you supposed to give me like an?
Okay, so there's no way. You just give us your last words, but not your last word, and then you hail us. Yes. Give us a shout
All
out.
right. So
You hail us.
okay. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy Mr. Nelson talking to his helper directly, the one that will change my life. Hailers. I hello.
Okay. All right. It's so glad to have you here, Mr. Nelson. I'm sure we're going to have more of this conversation outside of, the Google Meet conversation we're having right now. I can see Lolita. Thank you so much for joining. To Sam, thank you so much for joining. Of course, once again to Mr. Nelson, thank you. From me and the entire team, it is bye bye and have a wonderful weekend. I remain everything and the premium host. See you guys. Have fun.
Hi, hello.
I hello.
I hello times two. It's me you want to say.